Now we believe that this is unstable at the minute. I don't know if I've got the guts to do that. The curiosity has got the better of me, I'm afraid. Now I'm going to get ready to run. But it's just absolutely perfectly rubbish. Hello and welcome down here to sunny Nottingham. And no, we're not here to look for Robin Hood this time. We're actually here for a different reason. And I'm coming here because Ant's asked us to come down, me and Martin, and check out the Mapperley Tunnel. Now this tunnel is over 1,100 yards long, opened in the 1870s and closed in 1960. So we're going to take a look through the tunnel and look at something as what is known as the crap stack, as Ant calls it anyway. It's a big pile of rubbish hanging down a shaft halfway in there. So we're hopefully going to get to see that further in. But we've got Martin with us today, Martin Zero. You know Martin.
Right.
And we've got Ant with us from Trekking and Towpath. So we've not done a video together before, so this is our first time. But anyway, let's get exploring and go have a look. So I've just stumbled across this down here. And it's what I thought was railway related, and there's me getting excited. Ant tells me it's an old Ford Fiesta. Is it a vintage one though, Ant?
1982, 83 I was told.
82, 83, so it's not that old. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. I did think it was railway related, but it definitely isn't. So we've made our way down the cutting here, which I'm told is about 70 feet either side. And we're headed down and we've reached the mouth of the tunnel. And we've got some paintings on there, which Ant tells me are quite recent. And yeah, quite nice actually, I quite like them. But this is what we call the eastern portal. The western one is actually filled in and blocked up. Okay, so we're going to make our way into the tunnel, into the darkness. I get to try my fancy new lights out. Now if you just look up there, you can see it looks like a timber beam at the top. And Ant was just telling us that they used to be running along the portal here, and it was mainly to strengthen the portal. Because I don't know if you can see there, but there's a massive crack running all the way around the portal, which is quite scary, the fact that we stood underneath it. And then down here you can see what remains of the timber that's already fallen down from the two holes there. Okay, so let's get past this bit and make our way into the darkness.
You can just, now if you can really stare, you can just see the crap stack. You can just make it out.
Yeah, I can just see that.
Yeah, there's like a shadow right in the middle.
Surely they're not the original.
Right, some people say that they're to support the tunnel. Some people say they were put in as frames when the tunnel was constructed.
Yeah.
I think I might go with the construction one now, what people have been saying, because they are ancient.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know already, this tunnel has been filled in for the last 500 or 600 yards. So it's 1,100 and something yards long, but it's been filled in on the last third. Now in here we've got 3 shafts. So we're going to pass the first one very soon. The second one is where the crap stack is, as Ant calls it, which I'll show you when we get up there what that is. And then the third one is completely inaccessible, or you can just get to it, can't you, Ant?
Yes.
It's possible. Ant did get to it on one of his videos. But beyond that, it's then filled in, so you can't go any further than that. And that's the western side that's been filled in. So we just stumbled across this drainage system that runs right through the middle of the tunnel. It's about probably 20 inches deep. and it runs right through the centre of the tunnel to drain it. Now, Ant, what was the railway that this was on?
It was the Great Northern Railway's Derbyshire and Staffordshire extension, running between Colic and Eggington Junction.
I'm glad you said that because I didn't know how to pronounce it. He does. He's a local boy. No, Colic.
Oh, that bit, yeah.
He's a local boy, so he knows how to pronounce these names. I thought I'd get him to say it. Now I know how to say it. I can pretend I knew all along. So yeah, it was the Derbyshire and Staffordshire Railway. Now the line opened, like I said, in the 1870s, but around 1925 they had a collapse in this tunnel, because right above us is a rather large colliery, or all around here was many collieries and mines, and they had a collapse from some of the workings above. So basically there was a few fault lines and things in the ground and subsidence, and the tunnel came down in the middle somewhere, but they did repair that and reopen the line. And then there was a second collapse around the 1960s, again from mining subsidence, but this time they decided not to repair it and just abandon the tunnel instead, because at this point it was already losing favour and it was in need of urgent repairs. It would have cost a lot of money, and at that time they were starting to close railways anyway. So in 1960 they just closed it. So this actually wasn't beaching, it was pre-beaching, which is doesn't make it any better, but at least that's one less that he got his hands on. It's got some nice calcium pools there, look. You can see the calcite running down the walls. And the water's still running down it, and it's formed a nice little rock pool down here. I won't want to drink it, but I bet it's fresh water. So we've reached a recess, and it's full of the calcite stuff, and it looks amazing because there's a big rock pool right in the middle of it. So I'm just going to show you a shot of it now. Just check that out. Nice little rock pool there. I'm tempted to go stand in it. Just see the water dripping. And, so Ant's spotted some kind of it looks like a little gecko, doesn't it? I don't know what the name for it is, it's tiny.
Michael.
A what?
Michael.
Michael? That's his name. So ladies and gentlemen, we've got Michael down here. I'll just show you that in a minute. But it looks like a gecko, like a really small gecko. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but I'm just going to say gecko. Let's have a look at this. So ladies and gentlemen, here's Michael. You see that? It's the small little gecko looking, it's probably a newt of some sort, isn't it? It's probably a newt of some form, but yeah, it's obviously hanging around for the water down here. So we're just walking along, and Ant starts pointing up at the roof. I'm totally oblivious. I thought he was showing me the rings in the roof, the steel rings or the iron rings that are in the roof, but it's not. He's showing me the shaft. And there it is. Didn't even notice it. Here's the first shaft in the tunnel, which right above it is just fields. Not much to see above, but it isn't blocked up, which is a good thing. If this portal collapses that we came in, this is our only way out, currently. A long way up there. So I read online, I think it's about 220 feet to the surface at the deepest point in the tunnel. I'm not sure where we are in terms of the deepest point, but it's probably, I'd say that's probably 150, 180 feet above us. Not quite 200 and odd, but yeah, the next one might be deeper. just found some railway relics down here, some remains. Now you're gonna pull me up in the comments because I don't know what they're called. I'm gonna say some shoes for the rail to sit in on the track. But I'm sure you lot are gonna correct me in the comments to let me know what the real name is. So we've got an actual sleeper attached to it down there. And then you've got these shoes, as I'm gonna call them. There's a couple just down here on the floor. So we're getting closer to the what Ant's told us is called the crap stack, which is just down there, and it's coming down from the second shaft just ahead. You can just see it in the distance there, or we can anyway. So Ant's just pointed out there's what remains of a buffer down here and a brake handle. Did you say?
It's something to do with that, isn't it? It's got the white handle, like the white paint on it, which would suggest it was one.
So might be a brake handle, and then you've got the buffer there. So we've got a spring here as well, which Ant thinks is from the buffer. Could be a suspension spring. And then down here we've got another drain. So you can see the covers on this one. And you can just see the channel as it moves through the tunnel there. So let's take a closer look at this little spring down here and get you some light on that. And you can just see the water flowing through. We're just approaching the what Ant calls the crap stack. It's just ahead of us now, dropping out of the shaft. And Ant tells me that we've got a caravan to look forward to up here. So I can't wait to see that. I'll just show you the crap stack from here. If we can see it, that is. Can you just see that there? Hanging down from the ceiling. It looks like a giant Christmas tree.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, behold the crap stack. Look at that. So that is all the rubbish that people have dumped down the shaft over the years. And it's just piled up at the bottom and ended up building up to the shaft. Now Ant just said it's actually moved since he last came here.
There's a bit of a caravan just there as well.
Oh, there's the caravan that he was talking about. Let's have a look. Oh yeah.
Keep your distance.
Keep your distance. It's got a number plate on it as well. It's an A-reg.
Yeah, I'll reflector.
It's all sorts of rubbish here. This rubbish is probably what, 30, 40, 50 years old, maybe more.
What's the A-reg, about 1980?
Yeah, possibly,
80?
yeah. Just look at that. So this shaft is still open at the top, Ant says, so it's not sealed, it's not capped off. So what you're seeing coming down now is what people have thrown down over the years. Although I'm sure the shaft at the top is probably 20 feet in the air. How have they got all this down it?
Bear in mind, yeah, the shaft walls is probably about twice the height of me. So I'm 6 foot, I stand next to it. Or I have done, I've stood next to the other one. So you've got to have had something to have lifted that, like a dump truck or...
Yeah, either that or they made a hole in the side of the brick, the shaft. Yeah, just behold the crap stack. That's amazing. So you can just see behind me what Ant calls the crap stack, or the rubbish pile, and you can just see how high that goes up to the shaft there. So Ant reckons that the stuff in the middle of this stack here that's been here since the 60s, maybe just after that. So it's probably been there 60, 70, even 80 years. Started at the bottom down here, and then they've built on top of it over the years. And I've just spotted myself an old 70s deck chair over there, or what looks like a 60s or a 70s deck chair. Look at the colours on that. You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that film Labyrinth?
Yes.
The old lady with the rubbish on her back.
Oh my God.
Oh, the stack of rubbish.
This
It reminds
is
me
where
of
she
that.
bought it.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like the pile of rubbish on the old lady's back in Labyrinth. Now we believe that this is unstable at the minute, so we're wary of going near it or around it. Ant did go around it in one of his videos, didn't you?
I certainly did.
He walked past this stack here by walking down the side of it down there, and he made his way to the shaft further down, which I don't know if I'd got the guts to do that. I mean, that's going to collapse any minute, and I wouldn't want to be stuck behind that when it does. Okay, so Ant's convinced us. It's fine, he says. So we're going to risk it and make our way around this crap stack, which is looking very precariously like it's going to fall that way. the curiosity has got the better of me, I'm afraid. Now I'm going to get ready to run if I hear any noises or any creaking. There's an old 80s VCR up there as well. But it's just absolutely peppered with rubbish. So we've made our way to the other side of the crap stack, and I've just stacked it on the crap stack. Just fallen arse over down there. It's very uneven. And I'm about to fall again. So this is the infill. And you can just see Martin and Ant at the top there. This is where they filled it back to, or backfilled the tunnel. This is as far as you can get. So we're going to make our way up and have a look at the top. So we've just reached the infill, and you can just see right along the infill there. So they've left a little gap just at the top between the roof. Now obviously it might have compressed over time, and that's why it's dropped down, but you can just see right to the other end there. So at the other side you would have had the portal, which is now obviously buried, and somewhere halfway down there is the third shaft. Is that right, Ant?
Yeah, so you're looking at another 500 yards worth of tunnel that's filled in.
Wow. And then the shaft down there. So I'm just going to show you this as well. You can see the iron girders here, or support beams, along the roof of the tunnel. And there's the tunnel lining. See, it's weird to be at the top of a tunnel. Okay, so we're just making our way out of the tunnel and back into the cutting where we were earlier on. Martin and Ant are just making their way out now. I really enjoyed that. It was good fun. Apart from when I stacked it on the crap stack. That was rather amusing. For them anyway, not for me.
Yes.
Ant got it on film.
I'll be auctioning that off as well to the highest bidder.
Yeah, that. He's going to auction it off, he says. And bloody buy it and throw it in the bin. Absolutely. I was basically, like I said, I mean, we shouldn't have really gone over it, but it looks like any minute that was going to fall. But we worked it out that it was going to fall, if it did, to the left-hand side. So we kind of made our way across it as quickly as we could. Or so I thought anyway. So these two have gone up ahead, now behind them. And I was trying to hot-foot it over the stack without making too much of a fuss, and then I tripped on something, head first, straight into it. So if anything was going to cause it to collapse, it would have been that.
You've broken the crap stack.
It might fall down now. So you last saw me coming out of the Mapperley Tunnel with Ant and Martin, and the plan was to leave the tunnel and then head to another site in Derby, where we were going to look at an old abandoned power station, which would have been really fun. However, on the way to the next location, I broke down, and I'm currently sat on the side of the M1 waiting for the recovery to come. So not as glamorous as I expected. So what I'm going to do is end the video right here. And unfortunately I didn't make the power station, but I've spoken to Ant and he's promised me that we can go in a couple of weeks' time, and he's going to take me down to the power station, and I'll get you the video when we get down there then. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tunnel video. I'm going to sit here and freeze my nuts off waiting for the rescue. I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye! Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for free by clicking the logo here and click subscribe. Like the video and put any comments you have down below. If you would like to support the channel or would like to make a donation, there are links in the description below. And finally, a big thank you to our existing supporters of the channel. See you on the next adventure!